Good morning. I wanted to make this video because it popped into my head as we are still slowly approaching Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. And I saw the funniest little video, and the lady was like, how I am or how I act or how I'm gonna be knowing that Valentine's Day is Valentine's weekend is the same weekend as Super Bowl. So she's unplugging the TV, she's taking the remote, putting it in her pocket. And I just got a little chuckle, because, of course, the expectation is, and the pressure is, you got to be booed up, you got to have some great plans, you got to, and whoever you've been talking to should show up and make you feel. That is when you're solidifying things, maybe. But basically we're expecting this, grandiose, or hoping for this grandiose production, as far as like how much you know me, how much you care, because I'm expecting all these things. But if you're a mom, you might have the kids to consider, you might be a single mom, and it's Sunday morning, so I'm not really pulled together today. But oh, really quick before I get started, I'm really excited about my lipstick, because I love brownish burgundies, more brown hues, and so I have the lip bar. Now the lip bar and I go way back, because I used to watch Shark Tank, and this is called Savage, and this is one of their you see it's not too big, but it's still a long wear, one of their long wear lipsticks. So it's got, it's kind of like a lip gloss applicator. And you got to let it dry a little bit. So don't just jump in and then put it on and think you can just, go straight to drinking your little stuff. It's 2 coats, let it dry a little bit, but it's got this matte finish. And yeah, I think it's really cute. And I found it at my local Target. I have been following the Shark Tank following the lip bar ever since I saw them on Shark Tank many, many years ago. And if you go on their Instagram, they talk about their journey and how they didn't get any funding. And for those of you who don't know, Shark Tank was like this, reality show where businesses went on there and they pitched their little marketing spiel, and got the investors, and with their business plan, and whether either they got the funding and expanded, or they got some constructive criticism, or quite frankly, some people were told, look, this is not a good idea, you're not gonna make it, and this is a terrible business model, and so you need to just hang it up now. And as we all know, sometimes that is the truth, the hard truth. You need to relook at the direction of your business and your life, and you need to maybe hang some things up. And sometimes that pushes you to be like, you're not going to tell me, I think you are very wrong, and I'm going to show you. And so the lip bar went on to just, I don't know how they did the finance end of things, but today they are in all these different Targets. Their line has grown and expanded into all these other different beauty products. And hey, baby. And they have gone on to do some great things. And careful. And so I was just, as a company that was kind of all natural, and I want to say vegan based, and of course woman owned, minority owned. They really have you know what? You need to go wash your face. Oh yes. No. Oh yes. No. No. I see white stuff all around this mouth. No. So I was excited when I found their line. Go look at it. Look at it. Now, go wash it and come back, and you can sit with me. Thank you. That's what ladies do. Thank you. Go ahead and come back. Thank you so much. Now, why are you taking that? What you gonna do with that in the bathroom? And crack the door, please. So anyway, I don't usually get into like looks, makeup. This is what I'm wearing. My makeup can be from anywhere, But but I was excited when, like I said, when I found this at my local Target. So this video is about really breaking down the I don't want to jump around, breaking down the myth of your value and your lifestyle coming from a man at all. We have to continue to revisit that. Yes, can your life be improved with a man? Because if y'all are out here, we not gonna be poor together. I'm not gonna be struggling with the man. I'm not gonna be living at the same standard with the man in my bed, in my fridge, on my couch, in my space, and all of that, all up in my life, if at the same standard and income bracket, let's be real, I can do bad all by myself. That's not an independent, I don't need a man that's just if I'm going to do this for me and my children, I'm going to do it right. Because that is the whole point of setting yourself up and protecting your legacy and your livelihood. Because we all got to eat. We all need good health insurance. We all need to live in safe neighborhoods. We all want to be in great school zones. We all want to have access to quality things. Okay, we all know that. Well, maybe you don't know, but there is a divide where some neighborhoods are going to have Wegmans and Whole Foods, and other neighborhoods, all you got is some weird farmer's market with pig feet and chicken legs, a Family Dollar, and a Dollar General. Those are your grocery options. And we all know what comes with those type of stores. The quality of food is not the best. The cheese isn't real. I could go on and on. We've seen that divide. But you go to Fairfax County in Northern Virginia, and you've got some of the best school systems, some of the best hospitals, best everything. Why? Why is that? Why does it matter? Who wants the best? But how do you get that? You can't have that lifestyle. I'm not talking about I drive a Porsche and I am like the rich and famous, like I'm living like a celebrity. I'm talking about just the things that are most important. Not what bag you have, what car you drive, blah, blah. I'm talking about the fundamental things that are going to shape how your children think of life, so that when they are of age, they'll be like, do I want this life? The life that my mother and my father or my stepdad or my mother shaped for me? Or do I want to go over here and do this thing willy-nilly? At least they'll know the difference. Let that be on them. My point is that these things matter because that's what makes a quality of life. So for the women who, it's not about the men, but for the women who do decide to make a conscious decision to bring their lives down with individuals that aren't bringing them up in some way and helping them in this really hard life. So, what is the point? I could be a target for a robber. He might know my routine and see me. Why? Because he doesn't see a man here. Or it could be random. He might try a house with a man. Hey. But is that a risk that he's really willing to take if he's strategic? We're talking about robbers and criminals and things like that. It's more of a deterrent. You know what I mean? Because with men, things should be better. We already know what they bring to, the conversation.
Outside. Get ready.
But they are not the end all, say all, be all. You weren't born into this world with a husband, a boyfriend, a fiance. And I'm not going to raise my girls to believe that without a man, you are no one and nothing. And you have a time, by 30, I would like to see you blah, 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 blah. No, I would like to see you self-sustained. I would like to see you also enjoying your life and knowing who you are. But if the man comes, the man comes. But you're not out here looking and chasing and doing all these things to lower yourself and look desperate either. And so it is even in this phase of my life. I have touched on relationships and as it pertains to self-love and self-care, because what I have found, all these secrets. Okay, yes. And when I come downstairs, I will help you get in. Okay. What I have found is that when you focus on your self-care and your self-love, you are forced to come up out of things that were never the best for you. You are forced to look at things that you have created that you were never meant to be in. So that is what the self-care and self-love does. And then also too, moving forward, it changes your perspective. So you're not looking at the same type of people, individuals, men, potential, dating, whatever. Now you're like, I have come too far for my children and I. So therefore, it's okay to say, I'd rather be single. And single is this thing, it's like another thing. Oh, you're single. No, you're just living your life. And I even use that term. I say that I am single, but it's not a like, I'm single right now. Like, no, I'm living my life. I'm just living my life. I'm just an individual. I'm just someone who does not have a partner right now. And it's not like a season where it needs to be like, but then when I do, all this stuff is going to change. It's going to be like this. It's going to be better. It's going to be more convenient. It's going to be easier. But it's not going to change me. It's not going to change my perspective. It's not going to change my self-love and my self-care. It's not going to change, how I think about myself. It's not going to stop me doing the things that I love and things that I want to pursue. Will I have to think about my family unit first? Absolutely. So an example of that would be, you have been a single mother and you've been living your life. You're very happy. You're very content. You're at a good place. The right person comes along and says, hey, I want to enhance and add to your life. Would you give me that opportunity? If he checks all the boxes and has got some things going for himself, not shoulda, woulda, coulda, not I can move in with you and help you with some of your bills. No. I'm not talking about that. But again, the self-love you're gonna bump all that. That's not even gonna make it past the front door. But so again, you have this individual that comes and has this proposition. You consider. You see how your children feel about it. If you don't have a father figure or an uncle or someone, maybe you ask your spiritual advisor or, someone to kind of just like, hey, feel him out. What do you, introduce him, bring him around, whatever. The whole dating process. And then you can tell him, well, so I hope you understand that even though I am traditional maybe, and, of course, you'll lead our family and you'll make decisions and then I'll let you know how I feel about the decisions and we'll have to come together a lot of things. What I have been doing is still what I have been doing. So, for example, you could, I'll use career for an example. My career, blah, 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 blah. You'll have to still have boundaries around your identity, your time, the things that you like to do. You don't just throw it all away. You consider him. You let him know. You might can compromise, but you're not throwing it all away. So it's like now you might not say, I'm going to let my career take me all around the world and, there's no more time for us, but I still love, where I'm at with my position right now, whatever. And he will have to respect that. The self-care in you and the self-love in you will be like, not like, oh, okay, well, I'll just, let your career dominate, moving us to Wisconsin for a year, uprooting us and da-da-da-da-da, all this other silly stuff. You know what I mean? Unless it's what you want to do. But at least it's like a balance. You are an individual first. So the whole words like submit and, letting him lead and things like that, those are about very different things. Those are about ego. Those are about like, you're going to submit to him taking care of the household. You're not going to micromanage and feel like you're not going to have the type of man that you have to feel like you have to run behind and double check and finger wag and be like, did you do this? Did you do that? That, in a sense, is a form of submitting. But you're not going to be worried about that because he will naturally already know what time it is. You won't be finger wagging him and worried about, okay, I hope he knows he has to buy us. We need to start house hunting because, we're going to bring the family, be a mixed family, and we're going to really do this thing right. You can't move in here. We need a new house on whatever your income can afford. Hopefully, something better and nicer than what you got. Because, again, what is the point? You're not, but a lot of women do that because society has made us believe that if you're single by a certain age, oh my God. And if you're a mother, even worse. But that is just not true. We have to make up in our own minds that we bring so much to life and the conversation and the world and to our children's lives and to our friends and families that we cannot let that bother us. We have to tune that out. You have to know that you are loved. You have to know that you have enough love for yourself. You have to know that there are tons of people who never get remarried, who never marry, and have their lives, and can you stop? I'm talking. And have all the things that they have going for themselves and live beautiful, inspiring, and rich lives. And you got women who, get married and tie themselves down and do all these things and are miserable. So, it can go either way. But as long as you know that you are writing your story and you have to make sure and triple check and ask yourself, why do I want what I say that I wanted? Do I want a man? Do I want another stepdad for the kids? Do I want a boyfriend? Do I want a fiance because that's going to make me feel good about myself? That's going to make it seem like, I've got things going on because a man has given you the A-okay because he sees value in me and I am such a woman that, somebody has given me a ring. So that makes me now somehow more valuable than I already was. Are you hung up on the ring and everyone knowing that you got the ring in the man? Or are you hung up on needing validation in some way? Are you hung up on, like say, for example, if you're raising sons, is it really about them having a real, true male figure in the household to do the sports, to do the coach thing, do the barbershop thing, do all the things? Or is it because you really want to just let your baby daddy know that, like, yeah, we're good over here? Like, ha, ha, ha. Are you really ready for a relationship? Like someone that's like, this is it. You're not going anywhere. You can go down the hall. You can go downstairs. You can go, you can go upstairs or downstairs. Outside on the patio. But you're not in the type of thing where you can run away and just quit on this thing now. Depending on what we're talking about. Then you see people who have been married 3 and 4 times. What's that about? So it's like, just make sure that you want that for you. But it has to come from a place of you though. You have your relationship with you. You are truly desiring this because that's what you, watch your head, that's what you want. Not because someone has made you feel like without a significant other, you and your children are going to just be vagabonds of society. And it'll never be real. You'll never be like a whole family or like half a family, and you'll always be pegged as a single working mom. No. There are a lot of successful single moms who wear both hats, and they're not burnt out. They have the work-life balance. They're doing all right. Ooh. Oh, that's Amazon Prime. That's not for me. You know what I mean? And at Valentine's Day, you're gonna see a shift, because some people are gonna be booed up, and some people are gonna be very disappointed because he didn't come through, because he don't see you like that. But you gotta see yourself like that. You might be like, I know we haven't made Valentine's plans, but I know he's gonna surprise me. I just know that, this is it. And it's gonna be crickets.
Mommy, Uncle Steven here.
Oh, no, he's not. You got me. You know what I mean? But that's why I said in my other video, you have to give yourself that experience. You have to give yourself all the things that you say you need and desire from someone else. You have to give yourself all the things that even society says a man should do for you. And that's very true, but he's adding to you. It won't be like, I've never had roses before. I've never had chocolates and a teddy bear and a nice 5-star meal at a restaurant, blah, 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 blah. I've never dressed up and gone, No. Stop waiting. Stop doing that to yourself. Ajwa, can you please go play?
No.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be like,
Wow.
it's just gonna be like a bonus. Who wants to go through and look back and go through life and be like, I always desired all these things from someone that doesn't even exist, or someone that doesn't even have the wherewithal to do all of these things. You might have someone that, well, I don't want to say you might have someone, but a lot of times we hold on to people that like I just know that one day they're going to just turn into this magically. You need to magically turn yourself into a unicorn, a siren, a mermaid, all these wonderful things that are just so mythical and rare and sought after. Be that for you, please. Please give yourself that to you and your children, and stop running around here looking silly and empty and lost and like, oh, I'm hitting 35. I'm getting close to 40, and it's just about to be over for me. Freezing eggs and all these things. Now, I know that's a touchy subject, because infertility is something that, and miscarriage and or maybe not even ever having a scare. But trust me, not having a plan and having these setups where it's like, it's out of order, you still have to figure it out. Okay? So it's like, I'm out of order in a sense of like, is that the way that it was always intended to be, where a woman has now the responsibility of taking care of children by herself? Was that always the design? No. Can you make it work? Yes. But is it harder? Absolutely. So don't look over at me and be like, well, you're 32, you got 2 kids. I can't relate because I've never had a child. Well, I have also struggled. So adding kids to the equation, if you are still dealing with your self-esteem and your self-value around feeling like you're less of a woman because you don't have children and a man, then you maybe need to work on that, because it's a very thin line. It's a lot of sleepless, lonely nights for both of us. You're laying over there in your house alone, thinking thoughts, struggling with things. And I'm over here in my bed with the girls beside me, thinking things, having thoughts, struggling with things. But I also have, now I got to carry them up too. I can't take a mental health day every day because today is really hard because I'm lonely and I'm going through all these emotions because I'm older and I'm at this place. No, I got to fix my face so I don't worry them, so I don't scare them. Smile, make breakfast, pack lunches, get them dressed, kiss them, send them off to school, and then I got to go to work. And then take that money and put it back into them first. Take care of them first. Make sure they have everything we need. Then think about me in a lot of situations. And for a lot of these women, they're not making enough to even do that. They don't have time to think about themselves after they've taken care of the priority than the day-to-day things. You can't curl up in a ball and cry and have time to be depressed when you have children looking at you, watching you, learning from you. But see, you and I can both be sad about the same things. We don't have a man. And when I say a man, I mean like, seriously, like a marriage, household, stability, protection, provision. Someone that, whatever.
Okay.
She want me to get her some cake. What I'm trying to say is, this Valentine's Day coming up, I really truly wish we are enough for ourselves. And I truly wish that mothers and single women alike, especially women of color who are always bombarded with these statistics. There's more women than men. And there's a clock. There's a biological clock. And it's a lot of scammers and schemers out here, and there's a lot of pretty boys and F boys out here, and there's all these different things. But see, you can decide to take all of that vomit and say, but I am writing my own story, and for me, this is true, because I did the same thing. For me, this is my reality. I don't want that, baby. You can take all of that and file it away, then take the box, burn it, and write a new story for yourself and say, but, because even if that is your truest desire and you're clear and you're blah, 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 you only need one. But you are one for you. You are enough for you right now. We are enough. We are enough. And when I saw that article about we need the women in the workforce, blah, blah, blah. What they're saying is our creativity, our femininity, our energy, our perspective, our warmth, our nurturing, all the things that we bring to all of life, business, home, creativity, world issues, politics, medicine, all the things. Yes, you know that you need us in all these different sectors. But those type of women, they have to make sure that they are in these circles and they are comfortable, because grinding and doing what a man does, that's not where we can be our best. So, you might need me in the healthcare industry, but what I can't do is exhaust myself to where now I am a broken, burnt out nurse. But I have served my community and I have taken care of, elderly parents and, been there and blah, 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 blah. But only you can set those boundaries. It's not for you to, I feel like it's not, let me use myself, for example, with healthcare, because I have a few nursing videos on here. Last thing. The world knows that they need the balance of the feminine. But if you let the world and the agenda have its way, you will forever be at their service. You won't raise your kids. You won't take a break. You'll have your child, jump right back in the workforce, put them in daycare, pay them to take care of your child, and you're just on the go. And we've seen that burnout. But it's for you to say, I'm not going to just take this to the top and be like, the issue is working and having a passion and a purpose. That's not the problem. What the problem is going to be that you expect me to burn myself out, and I just can't burn myself out. So what do? You tell them I only work part-time. I want to make my schedule. I'll come back to work after I have my baby when I feel like I'm ready to come back to work. You're not going to tell me how long my what do you call the maternity leave is. You're not going to tell me, I might not have a job if I take 5 years off. Oh, yes, I will. Oh, yes, I will. You're not going to tell me that for our family dynamic with my new husband, we need 2 incomes. No, we don't. No, we don't. My husband said he don't need my little money. But see, they will bait you with these things. The world will bait you with, this house is $500,000. So with 2 incomes, you both can easily, all the bells and whistles. And that's when your husband would say, no, this is my price range. This is what I want my mortgage to stay at. I also want these features, blah, blah, blah. So he will be willing to walk away from that proposal because he's not going to take that and be like, well, babe, yeah, maybe you could go back to work and, we can make this work if this is the house you want to do. And buy into that, because that means that you're not going to be in that house, honey, and that new pretty house. You're going to be getting up, working just as much as him to have that house. So how are you going to enjoy it? Friday evening to Sunday? That's not a good deal. But a real man, the one that you waited for, the one that you didn't have to explain that to, would never put you in that situation where he needs your little money to get the car, to get the house, to be in that zone, district, neighborhood, whatever. So the world is going to offer these things to you, but that's when you say, no, thank you. Because my life and what I want looks very different. I worked with a nurse who she was only on call. And so she would pop in. Now, she might roll in at 11 o'clock at night because they needed her. But she did not work. And she worked, so she wasn't working 12s and she wasn't working her 3 days a week. Also, too, she was getting more because she didn't need the benefits. Her husband had the benefits. She loved being a nurse. Her kids were teenagers. So she could just come whenever she wanted to come. She didn't need to do, like everybody else grinding it out. Because her husband had her. She didn't want to leave nursing. She didn't want to leave the unit. But her husband had her. So it wasn't hard on her. She wasn't taking her whole paycheck and bonus, basically, to pay for all these different things that they needed. He had her. And when I was like, she is just so smart. And they used to mess with her. They used to, here comes, I'm not going to say her name, but, here she comes. She only works, here and there. But makes more money than the rest of y'all. Than the rest of all of us. You know what I mean? Why? Because she has options. Because she can decide what she wants her work schedule and what her work-life balance to be. That is what you have to do with that. Not go and go all the way to the Supreme Court and all this nonsense, try to get everybody on board to see your point of view. No. Who's got time for that? No. Now, I know that banding together for women's rights and change has done a great deal of, it's done amazing things. And we truly do stand on the backs of women who have sacrificed so much, protested, rallied, petitioned, and all these things for us to be where we are. From education to the workforce, all the way down. But we don't have the same type of mindset and unity that those women had. It's almost like we're spoiled. And when people do want to uproar, they just get on a screen and start typing. That's not going to bring change. If you really were about it, you'd be organized, you'd be strategic, and you'd take it to the top. But one thing I had found when I was all in the Hotep circles of making change in other ways in the Black community, I was like, we are not unified, so therefore we'll never get there. At least that particular organization. So I can't waste time with y'all right now because y'all are going in circles. But what I can do is change myself and change how I feel and what I believe for me and my children. And that is the change, that's the ripple in the world. So that if we ever cross paths and you ask me what I think, maybe my thoughts can inspire you. And maybe your thoughts can inspire me. And maybe you'll make a change. That's how that goes. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but like, it's at the end of the day, we are enough. We are the creators and the authors of our own lives. And at the end of the day, there's nowhere in the world that you can go and live and be like, if you don't have a man, if you don't have a husband, if you don't have a father for your kids, you are cursed and destined to be the scum of the earth. You need to go under a rock and hide your face. You are nothing to society. You bring nothing. You add no value. You bring no beauty. You bring no creativity. You are just a waste. And not only that, a burden to society. There's nowhere that you're going to live like that. No one can make you feel like that unless you believe that in yourself, in your core, to your core. Please don't. Please don't. And if you even have an inkling, and it sounds dramatic, but even if there's even hints of that, go get help. Go talk to someone. Go really figure out where you got that from and why you feel that way. Yes, love, marriage, and all these things and the wedding are beautiful things, and getting the kids involved and having blended families are a beautiful thing. And for the men that find us, that are just like, damn, I've been waiting for you, and like, thank God, that last clown you were with, it didn't work out, blah, 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 fine, whatever. But I'm not waiting, and I'm not putting my life on pause because of it. I have everything I want and need now because I said so. Because I am enough. Peace.